Hey, my name's Kim Williams, and today I want to talk to you a little bit more about email marketing. I did do a previous video that talked about some of the some tips that I had to get your emails opened, to get them read, to get your followers nurtured a little bit, and to get those conversions. And today I have a few more tips that hopefully will help you have some success with your email marketing. You know, we all know the saying, the money is in the list. But did you know the fortune is in the follow-up? Yeah, absolutely. The fortune is in the follow-up. It's all very well getting a bunch of people into your business, into your email list, but if you do not convert those people into paying customers, then your fortune evades you. Absolutely. So we must follow up. That is the primary reason for having an email list and keeping in touch with your potential customers. And of course, once people have already become a customer, there's always a much higher chance that they are going to continue to buy from you. And again, it's a reason for following up all the time. So having already spoken about some of the other tips, and I'll leave the link to that video down below so you can follow through with that if you'd like to hear those tips. Today, I want to start with my tip number one today is make your emails easy to read. Yeah, you might be one of those kind of people that just likes to get it all down on the page. You know, you're in a state of flow. You just got to get everything going because, you know, if you don't get it out on the page, you're going to forget what it is you want to say. Great, do that. That's just fine. But then you've got to think about how's that going to look to your readers. They really need to make some sense of what you have on that page. So I know when I open up anything, I like to see spaces. I like to see it broken up. Make it a little bit more digestible. If you've got a whole paragraph, one single paragraph, it's really going to turn people off. So my suggestion is to break it up. 1 or 2 sentences in a paragraph, then a bit of a white space in between, you know, a line space or even 2 line spaces. Just think of it in terms of that's the breathing space for your reader. Give some time to digest what it is that you've already been talking about and make them want to go on to the next point. And that being the case, what about your language? Think about the kind of language that you're using, because every niche has its own kind of language that we use. What I would say to a golfer or a gardener is totally different to what I would talk about to an internet marketer, as are we. Be careful of abbreviations. Make sure that you don't put things in there that aren't going to be understood. And try to write the way that you talk. We all have a bit of slang, you know, here I did study a bit of slang in your language. You know, you don't always say every single word like the Queen's English. So why don't you think about putting it down on paper just the same way? Because people do like to see that you're real. That's the important part. People want to know that you are a real person and not some kind of a machine that's throwing this out at them. So keep it simple. Think about how you speak. You might like, as I just said, a bitter. Okay, right, B-I-T-T-A. All right, don't worry about it. People will get it because we're all like that. We all have busy lives. We're all rushing through things and we all abbreviate things. So it's great to do that because it shows you are human. Talking of human, yes, well, you've written this amazing email. You've got all this content in there, but make sure you proofread it. Tip number 2. Proofread and test. Important part here. You must test. Go through it, read everything over again at least once, because hey, especially when you're in this state of flow, you write stuff out all in one go, and chances are you may have misspelt things, you may have missed a word, your grammar might not be quite on, you know, and just make sure that it makes sense. Nothing more off-putting, even though we are human beings and we do make mistakes. There's nothing more off-putting than seeing too many mistakes, because although we don't want to appear totally perfect, we still want to appear professional. We have something here, we have content, we have something valuable that we want to get out to our audience, and it's important that they understand what it is that we're talking about. And of course then make sure you test. Links. You're bound to put links into your emails. I mean, that's the whole point. You're marketing something, even if you're only sending them to a blog post or a video somewhere or something like that. Make sure your links work, because there's nothing more unprofessional than having someone click on a link and it goes nowhere, or it goes to an error 404 page. I mean, that then totally throws me off. I'm out of there. I'm not listening. I'm not watching, because I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. You know, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going. So make sure you proofread and test. Always a great thing to have somebody else, if you have somebody else to do that too, because to do that for you, because it's great to get another set of eyes on what it is that you're sharing, because you can go over it and over it and over it, and you end up seeing the same thing without seeing any of the mistakes. You don't pick it up quite the same way. I actually send most of my emails to my husband. He's my proofreader, he's my tester, and he's very critical, I must say. He will certainly tell me where there's mistakes and where I can improve on things. So if you've got someone like that, then good, use them, because it will help. And it'll help to teach you a little bit more, because feedback is always important. So the next thing I want to talk about is automation. It's great to automate your messages if you can. We use you should be using an autoresponder, something like, you know, email, Aweber or GetResponse or something of that nature, because that's the only way you can get a message out to multiple people, you know, large lists of people, because otherwise it all ends up going to spam. But why not get your messages automated so that at least the first handful of messages can be set up in a campaign, a follow-up campaign, that go out automatically as soon as somebody signs up. Send them out the free gift that you've promised, send them out the welcome email, send them out something that just introduces you to them. That can be the same for everybody that joins your list. So why not have it so that it's done automatically, and then you don't have to worry. You've not got to then be aware of anyone that's joining your list, and then must send them out another email. Use the automation as much as you can, but don't use it totally. It is important to keep your broadcasts going on a daily basis, or as often as regularly as you choose to do them, because that keeps things current. You can keep your messages up to date, and you can be on the ball with things. But the basic stuff that you really want people to get to know about, that starts to build the know, like and trust, because you can tell your story, you can talk about your offer, you can talk about, you know, whatever's happening in your niche. Those basic kind of things are so easy just to put into a welcome message, into an automated campaign. But again, like I say, don't forget, keep the broadcasts going, and you can do them as often as you like. I tend to try, well, I do try to do them every day. That is my aim, and you will be witness to that, because you're the ones getting them. But yes, make sure that you keep your messages going. You don't have to do them every day, but my point is to just do them regularly. Which brings me on to the very next point, point number 4 is to be consistent. There's no way you are going to build trust with people if you are only sending messages out when you feel like it, once in a blue moon. You have to be consistent. People have to know that you're going to be there, because that's how they're going to learn to trust you, because if you can prove that you're going to be there with a great message, as I've said, every day, then people will start to look for it. People will look for you in their inbox. When they see your message, they're going to open it. And that's what you want. You building up this trust that people can rely on you, means that you are then, when you've got something to offer them, and when they're ready to buy, because not everyone is straight away, but when they are ready to buy, they're going to remember you. Your offer is going to be in their face when they're ready to click the button. So be consistent. I see, I get lots of emails, which you, as I'm guessing, you probably do too. And when I get somebody that pops up once in a blue moon, I think, well, where have they been? What have they been up to? And occasionally I might go in and take a look and see what it is that they're doing, but I don't really feel that they have a commitment to me. They're not committed to helping me, to providing the value that I'm looking for, to help solve the problem that I might have. So yeah, consistency is absolutely king. And finally, my last tip here is to remind you to check on your subject line. Be mindful of what you're putting in that subject line, because to me, it probably could have been the number one thing that I was going to talk about today, but there's a reason why I left it to the bottom, to last. Your subject line is the first thing that people are going to see in their inbox, and that's most likely the thing that is going to make them want to open it, because it needs to be something that is going to evoke interest. It's they get people wanting to open your email. You know, something they're going to look and say, oh, how to increase your email open rate in 5 easy steps. There's a typical example. How-tos are a great way to get people interested to open up your emails. Give them a sense of urgency. Last day, get in now, ending tomorrow, those kind of things. Always a sense of urgency will get somebody interested and get them to open your email. And once you've got them in there, we've already talked about all the other ways that you can keep them interested and keep them coming back for more. Leading on to the subject line, if you're still stuck on ways that of ways to build a subject line, I gave away a free gift, a guide, the top 31 headlines that convert, and I'll put you a little link down below that you can use. It's just some rough guides that show you, give you some more ideas on the kind of subject lines that you can use to keep your audience interested and to keep people opening your emails. And that basically is the point of all of this, isn't it? We want them to open our emails. We want them to see what it is that we have to offer, but at the same time, give them some value, solve the problems that they have, and get people to know, like, and trust you. So remember, the money is in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up. So keep those emails coming, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now. If this ever goes